Hello, this is John Asch Contracting, and I'm John Asch of John Asch Contracting. You probably got that. So around October of 1978, many moons ago, is when I started becoming a roofer. I didn't know I was going to be a roofer. I accidentally figured I'd just try to do one job in October of 78 that came my way. My father was a roofer since 1955. Figured I'd give it a shot. So accidentally, from October 78 to now, and in case this is watched by Martians 400 years from now, this is now 2025. It's a long time, and I'm now an official roofing contractor. Yay! But when we started back then, the tools we had, the things we had, or what was appropriate of the day, obviously we didn't have much technology. Technology we had was maybe a pen knife, a nice pen. We had maps. That's about it for technology. So back in the day, there was no Google or various MapQuest and various map stuff on a handy phone. We had maps. And you can see in the photographs, we have large wall maps that were 3 feet by 3 feet or 4 feet by 4 feet. And we had the individual county maps. And back in the day, we didn't know any better. Somebody called us. We got 5, 10 calls a day if we were lucky, 20, 30 calls a week. We're going all over central New Jersey to thousands of addresses that we were never there before. We had to find them. People give us an address, and we look up on our handy map. So when you first start in the business, you buy a Middlesex County map, because we lived in Middlesex County, and you think you're good. And then some idiot calls you from Somerset County. God damn. Now we have to go out and buy a Somerset County map. And you see where I'm going with this, right? Monmouth County, Essex County. There's more than 4 counties in New Jersey. Do your homework. We had to get a lot of maps. And we didn't show them in the photograph, but eventually we occasionally did work a little bit over the border in Pennsylvania, a little bit over the border in Staten Island. I got to have a Staten Island map, you got to have a Philadelphia map, etc. So I had all these maps, but now the maps will be redrawn and republished maybe every 4 to 6 years. So you buy the new maps. So now when you're at the flea market, you're walking around, and you're looking at whatever you looked at back 1970s and 80s, all of a sudden some guy has some maps on his table, which are normally 12, 15, 20 bucks for a map. He's selling a used map for $7. So you're making a beeline over there and you're buying more maps, but you already have the maps. Why did he need more maps? Because the guy spilled coffee on the maps. The maps get ripped, torn up, fly out the window of the truck when you go 60 miles an hour. The guys didn't put it in the dashboard the right way. You need multiple maps. Then my dummies are getting a pen, and they're circling on the map where you got to go. After 3 or 4 years of circling, you can imagine. So now we're looking for cheap maps because, business is money and money is business. So now we got 3 and 4 copies of each county. We have older maps, we have newer maps, we have pretty maps, we have shitty maps, we have torn ones, we have glossy ones, lots of maps. And in the office, secretaries, I'm going to get shit for this, I'm going to say anyhow, secretaries normally were women back then. They might not be women today, but whatever. And the women aren't as good as the guys, most of them, when it comes to maps. Women just weren't into map stuff. And you're going to yell at me, that's okay. So we had to have the big wall maps on the walls, because the girls who want to go to the index and look it up and find it, whatever. And this way the girls can see, okay, I'm over here, and we have to go over here, and later on today, over here, and then tonight over here. And if we have time, we might finish up over here. So what's the best way to go with the traffic patterns and the turnpike and the parkway? And then she has to figure it out and call the guy on the phone and tell him, go here and do that. And that's a whole nother conversation. We didn't have cell phones back then. This, boys and girls, is even before pagers. All we had is a phone at your house. So if somebody called the office and they wanted me or somebody to go there today, nobody can call me. Nobody can page me. Nobody can contact me. They call my house. They leave a message. Then when I go home 9 o'clock at night, I get the message. But the guy called 8 o'clock that morning. He wants to know we're coming tomorrow. I go home 9 o'clock at night. It's too late to call. The next morning on my way out, I see the girl at the secretary or call her and say, yeah, call this person. Tell them I'll be there today at 2 o'clock. So she called the guy today from 2 o'clock today. That will be there at 2 o'clock. Who called yesterday 8 o'clock in the morning. He's mad. He already called somebody else. People, it wasn't that easy when you call during the day, but you're getting phone calls till late that night. It was too late to call people back that night. You call the next day, they figure you forgot. So these are how things were back in the day. So you see all the maps here on the floor, and the large maps, that's what we did back then. It was completely normal. It was completely fine because there was nothing else. And what was cool though, the advantage of not having technology, when you had to have a map and you're here and you have to go here, it isn't a straight line. You might have 12 streets. You have to go to this street, 2 miles, this street, turn left, go here. Shit, I have to go to the bathroom. Back at the McDonald's, start again, go here. Ooh, lunchtime, stop, go to lunch. Go here, eventually get here. Now to do all that, you can't remember them 12 streets. So you're driving, and you got your knee on the steering wheel, and you're eating your cheeseburger, and you're holding the map, and you're not crashing, you're trying to read the map. Sometimes you got to stop and go, okay, these 3 streets, oh shit, I missed my turn. You got to go backwards. You can't remember 12 streets in a row. At least I couldn't. So now you have to stop what you're doing, pull to the side of the road, hope a cop doesn't see you, eating your cheeseburger, steering with your knee, and looking at the map, and eventually find it. But the positive to that is your memory got way better than today. Just like nowadays, do you remember 30 phone numbers you have on your phone? Probably not. But back in the day, our phones, which are home, attached to the wall, didn't have any buttons on them. There was no computer. The phones didn't remember nothing. You had to remember all these phone numbers. You were smarter. And then once you went to a place one time, and you had to go there again and again and again, you want to keep using the map all the time, because you got the cheeseburger, the steering wheel, and the soda, and the radio, and the map, while you're trying to drive. Damn it, guy only gave me 2 hands. Sucks. I got a good knee, though. So anyhow, your brain got really smart, remembering the addresses and where you had to go. Anyhow, I could probably go on and on. I think you realize that. But my flying monkey started giving me a little nod, telling me that it's time to shut up. And I didn't shut up. So she nodded again, figured I missed the first nod. I saw the first nod. I don't give a shit. I'm talking. Then she's like doing this and shit. And then she'd hold it with one hand. She's getting ready to say something, so I'm going to shut up now. Goodbye.